फिर आपको लिए चलते हैं खैरपुर टामी वाली, जहां पर बर्री और फिजाई अफवाज की रादुल बर्क मशकों का सिलसिला
Ladies and
जारी है।
gentlemen, the aircraft will break off towards left and very shortly they will be followed by two more aircraft to take on remaining targets following the same path. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now look towards your left side in the same direction. The Mirages are now running in. There you see, ladies and gentlemen, both the targets have been neutralized and the Mirages break off. Ladies and gentlemen, next in the sequence is JF-17 Thunder, a marvel in achieving self-reliance through indigenization of our combat potential while staying abreast with modern technologies. This was a dream of Pakistan's visionary leadership a few years ago, and today you will witness realization of the dream in the form of two JF-17 Thunder aircraft led by Commander Bilal. Their targets are enemy-hardened shelters and underground bunkers depicted by white mounds behind T2 and T5 around 2 kilometers away. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now concentrate towards your front. Where the JF-17s are diving in to release their weapons. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. The aircraft have released their weapons. Ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft has the ability to deliver its weapon with pinpoint accuracy on a target as small as a window. And there you see, ladies and gentlemen, the nation's pride destroying the targets with precision engagement, employing 2,000-pounder high explosive bombs. Ladies and gentlemen, now comes the Fighting Falcon, the nightmare of enemy. This formation of 4 F-16 aircraft led by Wing Commander Tahir will be swapping in while maintaining 480 knots. They would conduct the next attack by engaging enemy-hardened shelters and underground bunkers depicted by a line of white mounds in front of you at a distance of approximately 1.5 kilometers. Few of these mounds are visible behind Mount T3 right now, while others are in the same alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that while each aircraft is capable of carrying a payload of 24,000 pounds, enough to annihilate the area of about 2 by 2 kilometers, for today, the payload has been limited to 6,000 pounds in the form of 12 high explosive 500-pounder bombs. There you see, ladies and gentlemen, a thing of orchestrated hell, a terrible symphony of light and flame. Ladies and gentlemen, the next two aircraft are now in dive, coming in hot for their own targets. Victory, speedy and complete. Ladies and gentlemen, the F-16s have successfully engaged their targets and are now pulling up to exit the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the swiftness and lethality of Pakistan Air Force. The coalition achieved through professional integration of PS firepower complements Pak Army's combat potential.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll draw your attention to your right, where the remaining squadron has taken up positions with the leading elements. As the Air Force moves out of the area after engaging the targets, you can see the remaining squadron taking up its position with the leading elements. The squadron grouped with ITVs or improvised tow vehicles and air defense elements. The squadron is a part of the leading battle group. Having once established contact with the enemy, it has now taken over the role of a fixing force. Its job to keep the enemy pinned down till the remaining force develops a maneuver to clear the enemy position. Ladies and gentlemen, combat aviation, being an integral part of the armored formation, will now fly in from the right, provide a dynamic base of fire, engage the enemy in front, and exit to our left. A flight of Cobra gunships and Z-10 helis will be appearing towards your right in a few moments. Presently, they are charging in towards their battle position and will only become visible once they have unmasked for the attack. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now draw your attention to the targets to be engaged by combat aviation. If you look in front at the board with TL1 written on it, behind that board at the skyline, you will see a red or orange screen with the figure H written at its bottom. This is the first combat aviation target, and the remaining two targets are towards its right if you keep on following the skyline, presently obscured slightly by the dust. There are two more targets for the combat aviation, which will shortly become clearer. Ladies and gentlemen, the helicopters participating in today's exercise belong to Army Aviation Combat Group, which has consistently remained employed in the recent past in Operation Zarb Azb and has been honored with a large number of gallantry awards. The thunderous sound of the incoming Cobras and Z-10s. The targets are the red screens on the skyline, the first one behind the board of TL1, the remaining two to the right, with the figure hotel written at the bottom. Close-up view available on the screens in front. And now, becoming visible to the right of the stage, the closer three are Cobra gunships and the farther two Z-10 attack helis. Missile fired and engaged target. targets being engaged. Now the Zulus, the Z-10 attack helis will fire. PA-9 missiles with 6-kilometer range. The AH-1F modernized Cobra attack heli is Pakistan Army's dedicated aerial anti-tank platform. I would now request the Honorable Chief Guest, His Excellency the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mian Mohammad Nawaz Sharif, to address this august gathering.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Chief of Army Staff General Rahil Sharif, Lieutenant General Ashfaq Nadeem, Commander 2 Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to be here to witness the exercise Radul Barq 2016. I thank the Chief of Army Staff for inviting me to this event. This exercise reflects the preparedness of the armed forces in case of any threat to our national security. There is no doubt that our armed forces are battle-hardened and ready to confront any external or internal security challenges. I must convey my gratitude to all servicemen who are ever vigilant and always ready to make the supreme sacrifice for the sake of their country. This exercise highlights once again the commitment of our valiant forces for the cause of national defense. It is a matter of great satisfaction that the enhanced capabilities of our armed forces make them one of the finest fighting forces of the world. Determination and resilience of our armed forces is the shield which counters any nefarious design by our adversaries. The strength of our national defense emanates from the integration of all arms and services. All components of our defense structure act as one body that demonstrates an impenetrable bulwark against enemy designs. No country can remain oblivious to its national security. Our strategic vision gives utmost priority to the defense of our motherland. Our government is committed to following a policy of non-interference in other countries' internal affairs and expects the same from others to enable a lasting peace in our region. Nevertheless, we cannot remain detached from recent developments in our region. Efforts by any country to harm Pakistan's security and territorial integrity will be met with a befitting response. Distinguished guests, economic prosperity is a significant aspect of our strategic vision. We believe that regional connectivity is a vital process to uplift the living conditions of millions of people in the region. CPEC is well on its way to becoming fully operational in the coming months and years. Every effort will be made to ensure that all projects of CPEC are completed within the given time frame. And CPEC is a shining example of all-weather Pak-China friendship. As part of the government's overall development agenda, no province or region in the country will be left out with respect to the benefits deriving from CPEC. As we know, the first trade caravan has departed from Gwadar port. It is much more than a commercial activity. We have become part of a trade route which will change the destiny of our region, inshallah. At the same time, gentlemen, the enemies of Pakistan have made the intentions well known. We all know that they cannot tolerate any signs of development, national integrity and economic prosperity in this country. It is for this reason that we have been a major victim of terrorism. The agenda of the terrorists is to destabilize our beloved homeland. They have been supported and financed mainly by external actors, and no country can tolerate such attacks on its sovereignty. Our nation and the armed forces of Pakistan are successfully countering the malicious designs of our foes. We will not be deterred by the perpetrators of terrorism, who will find us even more determined than ever before. We are steadfast in our aim to eradicate all anti-state activities. The sacrifices of military personnel will not go in vain, as they have enabled us to turn the tide in the war against terror. From operation to reconstruction and rehabilitation, our commitment to the cause of development and prosperity is unshaken. Bringing enduring peace in the areas affected by the terrorism is the ultimate goal of our law enforcement strategy. It is with immense pride that one can declare the Azar-e-Azb as the most comprehensive, most robust and most successful anti-terrorism operation anywhere in the world. The entire world is aware of our success story, as we have achieved what countries with far more resources have not been able to achieve. It is through their sacrifices that our forces have been able to restore the writ of the state. The fast improving security situation in the country has been acknowledged by the global community. Distinguished guests, it is extremely unfortunate that South Asia remains prone to confrontation and the security situation remains fragile. The Jammu and Kashmir dispute remains the core issue of contention between Pakistan and India. It must be addressed in a sincere and comprehensive manner, in keeping with the aspirations of the Kashmiri people and the relevant United Nations resolutions. Brutal tactics used to curb recent spontaneous and indigenous movement in Jammu and Kashmir have been counterproductive. Killing of our innocent civilians and soldiers along line of control is another act of aggression which warrants international attention. The situation at border remains sensitive due to India's grave violation of ceasefire agreement. Exercise Raad-ul Barq establishes that Pakistan, alhamdulillah, is ready to confront any ambitious and reckless move by its enemies. Dear guests, Pakistan, alhamdulillah, has a bright future ahead. The prominent international credit rating agencies, international financial institutions, and international economists have admired the steps taken by us in turning around Pakistan's economy. International rating agencies have upgraded our ratings with positive outlook. Finally, I will say that the dream of a vibrant and progressive Pakistan could not have become a reality unless all state institutions had not come together for our common objective of collectively achieving a peaceful, progressive and democratic Pakistan as envisioned by our founding fathers Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Allama Iqbal. No other goal requires more unwavering commitment than that of the country. We will embrace today's difficulties for tomorrow's reward. Gentlemen, let me conclude by felicitating once again the Chief of Army Staff, General Rahil Sharif, and all proud members of our armed forces for the defense preparedness of our country, and in particular the successful and impeccable execution of the exercise Radul Barq 2016. Pakistan Zindabad.
वज़ीर आज़म नवाज शरीफ जो कि फौजी मशकों का मुआयना कर रहे थे, इसके बाद उन्होंने खिताब किया। इस मौके पर उनका कहना था कि हम सब जानते हैं कि हम हर शोबे में तरक्की कर रहे हैं और हमारा एतमाद भरपूर है। हम पुरअमन कौम हैं और खित्ते में अमन चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमारी जंग दहशतगर्दी के खिलाफ जारी रहेगी। हम तमाम तर बैरूनी खतरात से निपटने की बेहतरीन अहलियत रखते हैं। दुनिया पूरी दहशतगर्दी से मुतासिर है, लेकिन हमने इस खतरनाक सूरत हाल से भी ज़र्बे अज़्ब की सूरत में मुकाबला किया है और कामयाब हो रहे हैं। कश्मीर की सूरत हाल पर हम हमेशा से मजम्मत करते आ रहे हैं और दबाव के बावजूद इससे पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। हमारी माशी तरक्की भी सबके सामने है। हम इत्तेहाद से आगे बढ़कर बेहतरीन पाकिस्तान बना सकते हैं। इस हवाले से आपको आने वाले बुलेटिन्स पे भी अपडेट करते रहेंगे।